You think using AI for absolutely everything makes you more productive and completely future-proof. You genuinely believe that if you just prompt smarter than everyone else in your department, you are guaranteed to get ahead. That is not productivity. That is outsourcing your brain. And the hard scientific research shows the exact opposite is happening to your cognition right now. The real professional pain hits when you slowly realize you are no longer the thinker in the room. You have inadvertently reduced yourself to a glorified typist. You get the shiny output on your screen, but you completely lose your own judgment in the process. You have to ask yourself a very uncomfortable question right now. Are you using AI, or is AI using you? Because if you are not careful, you are building a massive paper trail that validates your own obsolescence. You wanted the productivity boost to look senior, but instead, you are creating a dynamic that makes you look entirely junior. You are validating the ultimate corporate double bind. You have to use AI to keep up, but you absolutely cannot become AI-shaped in your thinking. Let us talk about the silent epidemic currently spreading through corporate offices everywhere. It is the subtle, quiet erosion of your professional identity. A 2024 study by McNamara and colleagues on cognitive research revealed something absolutely terrifying. They found that using artificial intelligence assistants actually accelerates skill decay and hinders development without the performer even being aware of it. Read that again in your head. You do not actively feel yourself getting dumber. You just feel faster. The speed creates a massive dopamine hit that masks the underlying rot happening to your critical thinking skills. You think you are being incredibly efficient when you let the algorithm do the heavy lifting, but you are actually just letting your own cognitive muscles atrophy. And in a high-stakes corporate environment, cognitive atrophy is a death sentence for your upward mobility. Let us look at what happens when this dependence plays out in real time. Think about the colleague who now uses an AI assistant to draft every single email they send. At first glance, their daily communication looks absolutely pristine and perfectly polished. They sound articulate, diplomatic, and endlessly professional in writing. But then you ask them to articulate a complex, nuanced thought spontaneously in a live meeting, and they completely freeze. They literally cannot structure a coherent argument without their digital crutch anymore. They have outsourced their voice, and in doing so, they lost the ability to speak with genuine authority. When the machine does the communicating, you forget how to connect with the human beings sitting across the table. Or consider the ambitious manager who delegates their massive quarterly data analysis entirely to an AI tool. The final report looks visually stunning, and the executive summary reads incredibly sharp. They walk into the boardroom feeling like an absolute genius. But then, a skeptical senior partner asks one probing, left-field question about the underlying assumptions of the data. That manager gets caught completely flat-footed. They start stumbling over their words because they do not actually understand the architecture of their own report. They outsourced the thinking, so they instantly lost the status. Do not be naive about how power dynamics work in these rooms. Your senior colleagues can quickly tell if the ideas belong to you or if they were aggregated by a language model. When your heavily assisted work looks great on paper but completely collapses under live human scrutiny, your reputation takes a catastrophic hit. It is the kind of professional embarrassment that is incredibly hard to recover from. And then there is the professional who starts prompting AI for strategic, interpersonal decisions. They type out a long prompt asking the algorithm how to navigate a delicate, highly charged office political situation. They ask a server to solve a human relationship problem. In doing so, they slowly lose the ability to trust their own visceral read on a room. Your gut instincts, your emotional intelligence, your human intuition, those are not features an algorithm possesses. You cannot code intuition. When you stop exercising your own judgment in gray areas, you lose your executive presence entirely. You become dependent on a tool that does not know the specific, irrational neuroses of your boss. You become reliant on a machine that does not understand the unwritten, messy cultural rules of your specific organization. Drop a comment down below right now. What is one thing you still absolutely refuse to let AI do for you? The people who are actually winning with AI right now know a secret concept that most of your peers do not. They understand an insider framework that protects their cognitive edge while still giving them that massive, superhuman productivity boost. In a brilliant 2024 paper published in the Harvard Data Science Review, researcher defines this highly effective approach as the human algorithm centaur. Think about the mythological centaur for a second. Half human, half horse. The human is the head. The human is the one steering, thinking, calculating, and directing the path forward. The horse is simply the body. The horse provides the raw, unbridled horsepower and the relentless speed. The Centaur model emphasizes incorporating deliberate human intuition and an intentional human-first workflow. Dependence completely flips that sacred relationship upside down. When you become dependent, the tool actually drives your thinking instead of just augmenting it. You become the horse. You end up just blindly executing whatever perfectly formatted bullet points the algorithm spits out at you. You let the machine steer the project while you do the manual labor of pasting it into a slide deck. That is exactly how you turn yourself into a replaceable commodity. So how do you actually build this Centaur workflow in your day-to-day corporate life without falling into the dependence trap? How do you use the incredibly powerful tool without accidentally becoming the tool yourself? First, you have to audit which cognitive tasks you have already quietly handed off. Look closely at your daily workflow and identify exactly where you are letting the machine do the initial synthesizing. If you are having an AI write the very first draft of a high-stakes strategy document before you have even formed your own opinion, you have already lost your edge. You are anchoring your brilliant human brain to a statistically average output. You must build a deliberate, uncompromising, human-first workflow before AI ever enters the process. Force yourself to stare at the terrifying blank page for 5 minutes. Jot down your own messy, unfiltered, highly opinionated bullet points. Determine your core thesis based on your unique industry experience. Only after you have established your intellectual territory do you bring in the horsepower to clean it up and expand it. Second, you can use AI for the output, but you must always reconstruct the reasoning yourself. If the algorithm gives you a brilliant data correlation that perfectly proves your point, do not just copy and paste it blindly. Take 10 grueling minutes to manually trace exactly how it arrived at that specific conclusion. Poke holes in the logic. Challenge the assumptions it made. If you cannot fiercely defend the logic in a room full of hostile, questioning executives, you have absolutely no business presenting it as your own. Third, treat every single AI output as a rough draft, never a final decision. The machine is a remarkably fast sounding board, not a highly paid CEO. It exists to give you options, not mandates. Your deep contextual awareness is your ultimate moat against becoming professionally obsolete. If you strip away the friction of thinking from your job, you strip away your actual market value. Friction is exactly where the deep learning happens. Friction is how you develop the rare expertise that makes you completely irreplaceable to a company. When you constantly offload all your cognitive friction to a remote server, you are quietly training yourself to become a junior employee again. You are broadcasting to leadership that your brain is no longer the primary engine of your work. And let me be absolutely clear about how corporate power dynamics actually function at the highest levels. Companies do not pay premium, executive-level salaries to prompt operators. They can hire a college intern to write clever prompts for a fraction of your compensation. They pay those premium salaries to leaders with sharp judgment, original insights, and the ability to navigate complex human nuance. They pay for the human head, not the algorithmic horse. Earlier, I asked you to consider whether you were using AI or if it was using you. Here is a simple thought experiment to help you know for sure. If the internet went down tomorrow and you lost access to all your tools, could you still do your job at a high level? Would you still have the robust analytical vocabulary to lead a complex meeting? Would you still have the sharp strategic vision to spot an emerging market trend before your competitors? If the honest answer is no, you are in a highly vulnerable, deeply precarious position. You have essentially built your entire professional identity on rented land, and the landlord can change the underlying algorithm at any given time. We are witnessing a massive, silent divide opening up in the corporate world right now. On one side of the chasm are the professionals, who are quietly sinking into permanent cognitive dependence. They are the ones sending perfectly sterile, instantly forgettable emails. They are generating endless, flawless slide decks that say absolutely nothing of real substance. They look incredibly busy, but they have completely stopped growing intellectually. On the other side of the divide are the centaurs. These top performers are using the exact same tools as everyone else, but with ruthless, calculating intentionality. They strictly use AI to automate the soul-crushing administrative busywork, so they can spend twice as much time on high-level strategic thinking. They are never trying to avoid the inherently hard work of thinking. They are simply using advanced technology to make their brilliant thinking scale further and faster. They resolutely remain the head of the operation at all times. The ultimate goal here is not to artificially use less AI or to stubbornly hide from the future of work. The goal is to boldly ensure that you remain the one driving the vehicle. You are the visionary strategist. The machine is just the replaceable engine under the hood. Never forget the difference between the two. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the subscribe button right now to join the community. And make sure to leave a comment below, telling me exactly how you plan to implement this Centaur model in your own workflow this week. Stay sharp out there. I will see you in the next one.